due to technical difficulties, we are a people that make lemonade out of lemons. We also make limoncello. We make lemon pepper rice pilaf.
This is basically our lemonade stand right here.
Welcome to the lemonade stand. This is our new microphone for this episode, and we are just going to do the best we can.
You heard it here, folks. Breaking news. Hey guys, I'm Ernmardia.
And I'm Sean.
And we're your 9 guides that are going to take you on a bit of a stroll through this week's schedule on The 9 Outline.
The first show we've got this week is Breakthrough, the ideas that change the world, this Wednesday at 9 p.m. It's got science, it's got history, it's got invention, it's got all the things that I love in this life. And this week's episode is about the telescope. Which is
I love a good telescope. I love it.
Let me just telescope the mic to your face.
Space exploration.
It's really great, though, because the telescope was a really, really important invention. Because the telescope was invented, we could do so many other things with optics, discovery, and so...
This is true, I agree.
I'm very excited to see how Galileo Galilei did his thing. I'm excited to see how the telescope changed the world. This week on Breakthrough, the ideas that changed the world, Wednesday at 9 p.m.
All right, guys, so we have a really cool, exciting new show for you and a new 9 digital team member here at the 9 Network and a special guest star today. Come on up. What? What's your name?
Tyale McNary.
What's the name of your show?
Tyale McNary. He may be wrong, but he doubts it.
Ooh, so tell us about the show. What's kind of the premise?
So the concept of the show is to be funny and find humor in real world problems that everybody goes through. Short, tall, old, fat,
Yeah, sure.
Black, white,
sure.
all that.
What are some examples of those real world problems that everyone goes through?
Like finding good coffee. Nah, just kidding. Voting.
I find it problematic, yeah.
Yeah, so I try to keep the issues kind of like balanced. So some of them are really serious and some of them are trivial. So like we got a lot of stuff from white people in the code to voting and politics.
So you kind of bop around all around St. Louis, right? What are some of the neighborhoods that you kind of had the most fun doing interviews in?
Well, at home in North County, I did an episode about white people land. So I did some episodes on white people land too. You gotta tune in and figure out where white people land is and what that is.
Are there roller coasters?
I can't promise that.
Not in white people land?
Oh, I don't go to white people land.
Okay. Well, guys, I mean,
Corroborating, yeah.
we heard it here first. So, name of the show?
Tyale McNary, he may be wrong, but he doubts it.
And when and where can we catch this?
Thursdays. The first episode will be this Thursday on Facebook.
Oh, all right, guys. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 9 family.
Yeah.
Tonight at 8 p.m., we've got a brand new episode of Living St. Louis. We're going to learn about the Karpla's Museum fire. You might have heard about this recently. Manuscript museum. They got a bunch of super important paperworks from history, and it went up in flames recently. So we're going to learn about that, everything that happened there, and the man who opened it.
Yeah, and then we're also going to learn a little bit about the upcoming 40th Annual St. Louis Storytelling Festival. We're going to tell you a little bit more about this next week, but it's going to take place all over St. Louis. So there's a lot of really cool hotspots that'll be featured. So tune in next week and you can hear all about that cool storytelling.
And the last segment on this week's Living St. Louis is all about Butch O'Hare. He was a war hero. It's all about the 1942 parade welcoming him home. Chicago O'Hare Airport is actually named after him. But guess what, Chicago? We're claiming him as our own because he was born and raised here in St. Louis.
I literally had no idea. I had no idea that Butch O'Hare was Chicago O'Hare. What? What is this?
Surprise, you learned it here first on Living St. Louis tonight at 8 p.m.
Ooh, okay, we've got host picks for you. Sean, real quick, what's yours?
This Saturday at 11 p.m., I will be watching Austin City Limits. It's Kacey Musgraves and Lucas Nelson. Kacey Musgraves is like one of my absolute top musicians. Golden Hours, an amazing album. Same trailer, different park. Got me through college. And Lucas Nelson is Willie Nelson's son, so that's going to be really exciting. I'll be watching Austin City Limits this Saturday at 11 p.m. And what about you? What's your host pick?
Okay, you guys. American Masters, Garry Winogrand. It's going to come on this Sunday at 4 p.m. He founded basically the snapshot aesthetic of the 1960s and 70s. He also took that iconic Marilyn Monroe pic of her in the 7-year itch when her dressed, woo, that one, that one. I mean, looking through his stuff, I have been excited about our programming, but this one, I am particularly excited about this programming because I feel like I love photography and his stuff is iconic. So, I mean, his stuff is in Museum of Modern Art, everything. So you're going to want to catch it on Sunday at 4 p.m. American Masters, Garry Winogrand. He's awesome. Trust me. He's awesome.
Well, guys, it's been another super exciting installment of The 9 Outline. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ernmardia.
And we'll see you next week, our little handheld honeys, on
The 9 Outline.